All right. Woo! What did I say? What was my deal? What was my prediction? You got, Big Sills, man. He don't have any. There it is, 30-24. Philadelphia Eagles win on Sunday. This is going to be the hardest game you've played since Super Bowl 52. This is the most important game, the hardest game you have played since Super Bowl 52. Without further ado, it's Friday, folks. Watch me. Pre-game, post-game, halftime, as we say on the East Coast, all you students for the post game. My boy, Big Z. Zander Krause joins us now here on a Super Bowl Friday.
What's up, Big Silly? Football Friday. And what are we? 51 hours away from the start of our 3-hour journey to immortality. And even Big Sills is picking the birds, baby.
Can't believe it.
Holy moly.
Can't believe it. Zander, you had it pegged the whole time. By the way, all supers will be read at the end of this segment. I promise you guys. Zander, you pegged it from probably about 7 days ago. I can't go against the team that's tougher, man. I just think they're tougher heading into this game. And I don't believe Kansas City can stop that Eagle O-line. I mean, Barkley, then you add him kind of like the cherry on top of the cake there. I think Kansas City's good. Dude, obviously, I don't have to glaze over them. Look at their resume. However, I don't believe it. I don't believe that this will be the game. Like you don't really think they're going to have a repeat of what you did in Super Bowl 57, where your defense got shut down and your offense in the second half.
I really don't.
I don't either. You're not going to have a repeat.
I just don't see that. But look, here's the thing with this game. This is, I picked, my score prediction was 27-24 Philadelphia Eagles. All right. We'll have John McMullen. We'll have Birds 365 tonight at 6 p.m. So John McMullen will give us his prediction. Right now, Jacob's 2 for 2. Sills and Big Z both picking the Birds in this game. But I have 27-24 because, look, I feel amazing about this game. They do have the ultimate equalizer, though. And in order to overcome that, you got to make a play. Somebody's got to make a play somewhere at some point to create a negative play, whatever it might be. And we got to get that in order to win this thing. But I really believe in this defense. I believe it's going to be Zach Bond that makes that play. Every single time I've questioned or doubted or wondered about whether Zach Bond can maintain this level of play, he proves me wrong. Every time I have
been saying this since the Green Bay game.
Every time I have even just a shred of a doubt, a shred of one, right? Like, okay, will he? This is a big moment. The pressure's here. Will he continue to? He does it. So I'm done doubting the guy. I doubted him I didn't doubt him. It's not that I doubted him, but there's a level of wondering whether he can keep it up. And I think he's going to make the play in Super Bowl 59. And then I'll get a big ass contract rewarded as a Super Bowl champion in Philadelphia. I just can't believe we're here, man. I'm still, as long as we've been doing these shows now, and we've talked about every angle to this game known to man, maybe more so than anybody else. I still am just jacked up that we're here. I'm still jacked up that this team is in this game with a chance to, have another historic moment. I'm going
to go over some of these things that I mentioned, and I want to hear your thoughts on them.
All right.
Can the Chiefs, in your opinion, with that defense with Spags, how important do you think this is? Can they stop that home run hit? Dude, we talked about it last 2 weeks. The Barkley first home run touchdown, every guy in that sidelines was deflated. I can't tell you, dude, when you practice and you game plan and you do all that shit during the week and a guy hits his head on the goalpost, bro, it's deflating, man. He takes the wind out of your sails, Barkley.
That's not going to happen, though, versus Chiefs team. They're the best tackling team in the NFL in both the regular season and the postseason.
So you think they stopped the home run?
I'm not saying they stopped the home run, but what I will say is that type of run that you had in that first play versus Commanders, if you go back and rewatch that, there was 4 or 5 opportunities to tackle Saquon Barkley that the Commanders missed in that on that one specific run. So you might have a big run, and I do think he's going to have a chance to break one away at some point, but it's going to have to be a perfect blocking scheme with the O-line. And we've had them. I'm not saying that's not possible. That's certainly that certainly could happen too, but to say you're going to have a run where he's breaking I don't know. This Chiefs team doesn't miss many tackles. They're a 92% tackle team on run plays in the NFL. I mean, they don't miss tackles. So I don't expect that to happen, but to me, I'm more focused on that running early on that first downs, like we talked about as well, where, if they can get those 5 yards or 4.5, 5 yards, 6 yards on those first downs, your entire game plan is going to be at your fingertips. You can do whatever you want in the game. So that's what I'm more focused on. But boy, you're right. If he has a demoralizing run like that early, yeah, it's good. Chiefs won't be taken out of it like the Commanders were, though. All
How about this one here? How about this one here? Do you believe that Eagles defense has to stymie the Chiefs in the first quarter? And I think they have to make them get out to a slow start, couple 3 and outs. I don't want Kansas City with the lead, man, heading into the half or into the second half, fourth quarter. I don't want that, man. I want Philly to stick into their guns, doing what they're doing, run them over. Dude, don't get cute. Just go in there and run. Dude, if I see somebody in the middle of the road and I get the fucking run neck, I'm running him over. I don't want to do anything cute. Run him over, man. I think this defense, if you get Mahomes moving around, you get a couple 3 and outs, he's a guy you could be down 14. You've already felt this. He could throw his team out of trouble. I want to get him off to a slow start. Do you think they can do it?
I think you can do it. This Chiefs offense they're not overly dynamic. Okay. They don't have big plays. They don't have a lot of explosive plays.
But let me stop you there. You're right. They're not overly dynamic, but don't you agree they're unpredictable?
Oh, very unpredictable. That's why we talked a little bit about this yesterday, where this defense is going to have to be overly disciplined in this football game and fundamentally sound. You can't get out of your zones. You got to lock down the people that are in your zone. And if you take away Kelsey, that's great, but there's 5 other targets on the field that Mahomes will throw to. So, somebody mentioned this morning on the Zander Krause show that they should potentially put I think they said Oren Burks as a spy on Mahomes to take him out of coverage situations. But I'm like, they're never going to do that because you can't mess up the zone. The zone, they're going to thrive on their zone defense that they've thrived on all year with this. And if you take away a player out of that, Mahomes is going to pick you apart. So they're not going to go that route. They're going to stick in that zone, and they have to be disciplined. They have to be disciplined, but they will, man. Look, the one thing I love about this defense is they're young and they're fast. They're fast. So they make up for a lot of ground, especially in their zones. Cooper DeJean is as athletic as anybody he goes up against. Quinyon Mitchell seems to be able to run with anybody. So they don't give up a lot of huge, big plays, which is a great thing. But, I mentioned the tackling at the start. Eagles are the worst rated tackling team right now in the playoffs of all 14 playoff teams. Can you believe that?
No.
So they got to tackle, man. They got to tackle in this game. Yep. You got to get people. Do not let them get yards after the catch.
Okay. But do you believe that the Chiefs blitz package will create 4 sacks on Hurts?
Ooh. We can't be taking 4 sacks in this game. I can live with 1 or 2, maybe even 3. I don't think you want to give up 4 sacks. 4 sacks, you're talking about
field position.
And you're talking about potentially, hurting multiple drives. I'd say 2 or 3. I feel like they're going to get 2. I feel like the Birds are going to get 2. I think both of these quarterbacks understand that they can't be taking sacks in this game. Now, Mahomes has 5 sacks in 2 playoff games. I think he was sacked 36 times in the regular season. So he's been taking a lot of sacks as well. But let me give you a stat, all right? Let me hear that. I'll give you a stat. The Kansas City Chiefs are 30-1 when Patrick Mahomes releases the ball, averaging a game in less than 2.7 seconds. 30-1.
And you're going against the zone defense.
So there's gonna something is gonna have to give there where you could have the greatest zone defense in the world. If you have a quarterback as accurate as Mahomes and he's getting the ball out that quick, they're gonna have completions and they're gonna move the sticks. You might not give up the big play down the field, and that's where that red zone defense is gonna be huge. But I would expect our game plan to include Mahomes getting rid of that ball. Because look, I talked to Jeff Kerr off the air as well. We had him on our show earlier, but I talked to him off the air as well. And I was talking to Jeff, and I'm like, and he's like, I don't think you understand how focused this team is on Jalen Carter.
Oh, yeah.
The Kansas City Chiefs believe Jalen Carter is the number one reason by far that this is the number one defense in the NFL. And if they can create, if they can slide protect and do anything to mitigate his damage on the game, they believe their offense will be fine.
That's right.
So Jalen Carter is going to be a huge impact, and you know they're going to come out throwing that ball.
Zach Vaughn is a byproduct of Jalen Carter.
Yeah, right. He plays a lot better when you have Jalen Carter in front of you.
Hey, anybody does.
It's not supposed to be a knock on Zach. It's just supposed to mean the first thing before you even get to Zach Vaughn. The Chiefs want to get by Carter. They like their matchups everywhere else.
Why do you think Ray Lewis was so good in Baltimore? You had Siragusa and then you had Adams.
Right.
Those giant dudes in the middle where nobody touched them. I mean, you're going scraping laterally the whole time. How about this one here? Do you believe Vic Fangio's defense is going to win the red zone on Sunday? And what I mean by that is you can't, like Washington did, get down in the red zone, kick a field goal. You're not going to fucking beat the Kansas City Chiefs kicking field goals on 10-play drives.
Doesn't it kind of feel like this is one of those games where whoever's more successful in the red zone will win the game? Absolutely. I mean, both of these defenses are really good in the red zone. Yep. The Eagles are great in the red zone.
I think the Chiefs are number one.
The Chiefs are really good in the red zone, man. They'll give you yards, but they don't break often in the red zone. So they're sound defense. They bring pressure at the right times. Credit to Spagnuolo. He's going to make Jalen have an off-balance throw, something. He's going to do something. So whatever team is more successful in the red zone. Listen, if the Kansas City Chiefs are kicking field goals,
you win.
As Eagles fans, we're clapping our hands.
Yes.
All right. They're going to get points. They're going to get down the field. They have the ball first in this game. They come right down, 18-play drive like Washington did, and they settle for 3. Clap it up, everybody, because you need that in this game. And then on the other side, one thing I want to say is I do want to see Sirianni be aggressive in this game. All right. Play to win.
What does that mean?
That means you can't be settling for 3 in the red zone. You got 4th and 2, you're going for it. All right. You're playing to win the football game, not be in it. If you're in it with the Chiefs, you lose. That's why they're 14-0 in one-score games.
Let me throw something at you here then. You're in the 4th quarter and you're up 7. Okay. And you're on the 25-yard line of Kansas City with about 8 minutes left in the ball game. You could make it a 2-score ball game. You're going to go for it down there on the 25 and give Patrick Mahomes a chance to come back and beat you?
In that scenario, yes, I am.
You're going for it.
I would go for it because
and not make it a 2-score game.
It's less. I think with the time you had gave me left on that clock, I don't like being up 10 to the Chiefs with 8 minutes left. I'm sorry. That doesn't make me feel good. Being up 14 there is a much better cushion, and I think you put the pressure on them, and that's a difference in the game. That ultimately could be what it come down to. I mean, I don't know. You're talking about Patrick Mahomes here. You're talking about a team that wins.
You could be in that situation where
every one-score game. Guys, they didn't lose.
Eagles are on the 35 of Kansas City. There's about 6 minutes left in the game. Timeouts are at a premium. You're up 6, right? Do you go for a 2-score game or do you go?
All these people, you're fired. You're fired. No, you're not fired. Go ask Dan Quinn if he regrets taking the 3 early in that game. You've got to play to fucking win. We are not the better team. You're knocking off the champion.
That's Jaden Daniels, though, dude. This is Mahomes.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, the Eagles need to be aggressive in this football game. And if we lose a 3-score game, Manster, you better be in here on Monday. Hey, where's the other dude? 5-star. I better see you in here on Monday. If we lose by 3 points to the Kansas City Chiefs and they went soft in a moment, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to write your names down. Manster. And who is the other guy? Who's the other guy? I'm keeping the receipt. Manster and 5-star. If we lose by 3 and we get soft in the red zone, I tell you what, I'm not going to be happy. We got to play to win. These guys are going for a three-peat, man. These guys are going for a three-peat. You're telling me you'd rather get this thing down to a 1-score game with Mahomes. Guys, they have 1 loss with their starters in this year. They lost by 9. Every other game that was 1 score, the Chiefs won. They don't lose 1-score games. They haven't lost a 1-score game all year. You're going to get to the Super Bowl and say, hey, let's gamble with a 1-score game?
Here. Okay, let's go to another one here. Do you think the Eagles will exploit the linebackers for Kansas City with Goddard? That is the biggest weakness on Kansas City's defense is the pass coverage of the linebackers. But hear me out here. Hurts doesn't throw across the middle of the field.
Mm-hmm.
He throws to the numbers. They have been shy on throwing across the middle of the field. That's why Goddard gets lost in the pass game. Is because they just don't throw on a consistent basis across the middle of the field. They haven't in 2 years. That's just been something that they shy away from. Now, I think personally Goddard could eat this game alive.
He could.
Do you think they're going to use that weak? Because why would you play into the strengths when you've got AJ and Devontae, bro? I mean, doesn't that loosen up the perimeter and the Y and the Z, the number guys, Devontae and AJ? If you got Goddard going, if you get Goddard and Barkley going, in the second half, Devontae and AJ will eat that team up.
Yeah, it's weird because we had a Chiefs guy in the chat the other day, and he was saying, and I was like talking to him, and he's like, "Yeah, the one fear I have is we can't cover tight ends."
Can't.
And no, so it's weird because I did my predictions this morning, even knowing that, and I don't know. I don't have Goddard as a huge factor on my predictions. I feel like this is a game that Jalen is going to try and get the ball out quick, and he's going to try and get it to Devontae and AJ. I think it's just one of those games where you want those playmakers going. So I have them eating them up a little bit more. You also mentioned they like to throw to the numbers. So, if Spags is going to bring a blitz and he's going to drop McDuffie one-on-one on AJ, I love McDuffie, but I think Jalen's going to throw that ball. I think he's going to throw that ball. He did it at least in 22 Super Bowl. Remember, I mean, he had that one-on-one down the field with McDuffie, and he had a huge touchdown pass. So I think he's going to force the ball, or not force it. I think he's going to take advantage of that, and that one-on-one's on the outside more so than maybe not as clear one-on-one against Goddard. But I do think Goddard has a major advantage because Goddard's a super athletic tight end, and that's what they struggle with. And Goddard, if Jalen's finding him, he could be a big impact. I have him down for 3 catches for 30 yards, 3 first downs, but I think he could very easily get that in 1 catch. So, don't take that one to the bank. If you're a betting man, I wouldn't bet on that, but that's what I have him down as.
Here's another one here. I went back and watched. I randomly picked 5 games that Philly's defense had last year. Baltimore was one of them. The one thing that Vic Fangio and the defense have done this year that has been so eye-opening that I didn't get it until I watched it. That defense has put the offense in such great field position the entire fucking season.
Yeah.
They have never really been in bad field position because they're getting a ton of 3 and outs. Getting 3 and outs. Are they going to continue that? Because the one thing that Kansas City does and their defense does, they do the same thing, Zander. They give their offense, because like you said, there's not a lot of superstars in Kansas City. Well, how have they lost only 1 game with Mahomes starting? You know how? They got great field position with Spags' defense. Yeah. Same with Vic Fangio. These defenses, theoretically and fundamentally, they kind of look alike. Okay? They got a premier defensive tackle. They bring blitzes and pressure when they have. Their cornerback play is pretty good. I mean, it kind of mirrors it a little bit. I just think that Spags is more aggressive than Vic. I
Yeah,
think there lies a difference between the two.
Spags is much more aggressive. Vic's gonna, well, here's another thing, by the way, that speaking of this point, all right, with the coordinators, here's a spot that I think the Kansas City Chiefs have a clear advantage. All right. We talk about getting late in this game. We talk about this being a close game, a one-score game late into the game. Is Vic Fangio going to drop into that soft zone coverage that he dropped into versus the Rams that Matthew Stafford went down the field 80 yards in about 60 seconds on? Because if you're going to do that late in the game, and Mahomes is going to sit back and say, thank you very much. If we have the ball late in the game, I promise you Steve Spagnuolo is going to bring the blitz and he's going to say, beat me, Jalen Hurts. And if you do, I'll tip my cap. He's not going to sit in that fucking soft zone. That soft zone drives me nuts. We almost gave the Rams up. 2 drives in a row. Everybody says the second drive wasn't that good. They got to the 13-yard line.
It's called prevent.
Prevent. That stupid prevent D. I hate that. I hate that prevent D. If we go into that, that's an advantage for the Chiefs.
It totally is.
I tell you what. This is what scares me about this game. Maybe this is just those Friday jitters getting in there. We were getting closer. The Birds are closer to the Super Bowl. I picked 27-24 Birds. All right. But good night. Every time I look at this game, I'm like, boy, we better have a 7-score. We better have a multi-touchdown lead.
Look what they did to San Francisco. They made San Francisco play 75 minutes last year. I mean, you got to play 60 minutes. Dude, this is 60 fucking minutes, man. And
Deshae is right about this too. They got to wrap up Deshae. Deshae, here's a bad stat for you. All right. Not stat. You might not like it. You might like it. Whatever. Chiefs are the #1 tackling team in the NFL in the playoffs. Eagles are the number 14 out of 14 playoff teams tackling in the NFL right now. Now, a lot of that's from that Green Bay game. You remember how many missed tackles they had in that game. But the Chiefs are going to wrap up. The Eagles need to make sure they do the same.
Absolutely, man. Here's something else to think about. There's a lot of youth. I'm not saying there's not in Philly, but there's youth in Kansas City in the secondary. How is Kansas City's young guys going to take on A.J. Brown and Devontae in this game? I mean, boy, you've got and Goddard if you get it, and you got Barkley if you want to get the ball to him. Barkley's been dangerous when he's touched the ball in the air in the passing game. I mean, he's gone to the end zone a couple times, doing that, and stretched out third downs doing that a few times. Man, you got a multiple tasking effort ahead of you if you're Kansas City on playing technique. This is going to be a fundamental technique ball game because if you come out of it and you don't play your proper technique, someone's hitting their head on the goalpost.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that 100%. And so that's one of the most important parts of this game is that. So I agree 100% with that one.
Is this the game, Zander, that you feel the loss of Nakobe Dean?
I heard you say that question earlier, boy. I heard you say that earlier, and I had flashbacks to Super Bowl 58 last year, and Dre Greenlaw's running on the field, and his Achilles tendon burst, and Andy Reid looked over and said, I'll pray for you, Dre, but holy shit.
55's out.
Thank you very much.
Remember Mahomes going 55's out?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Andy Reid's going to scheme it up. Will Oren be able to step up? Will Oren Burks be able to step up? Will he be ready? Will Vic Fangio do it again and get the most out of a player in a big spot? I believe in you, Oren. I believe in you, Oren. Come on, man. We need 60 minutes, Oren. Come on, Oren. I hope he can do it, Sills, but you're telling me to take Oren Burks over Travis Kelce, who's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
You see, Xander's.
Sure I feel good about that.
Xander's rubbing the magic genie lamp.
Yeah,
Come on, Robbie. I got you here.
I am, man. I am. I believe in you, Oren. I believe in you, Oren. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Here's another one for you. I wrote all these questions on last night.
I love them. They're great.
Hey.
King of content is Big Sills.
How deep do you think Andy Reid's going to have to go into his toolbox in this Super Bowl to beat them? And how far can he go? Because, dude, they had to pull it out. And they had to go deep last year into the toolbox to beat San Francisco.
Yeah.
Does Kellen Moore have a toolbox that deep if he needs it? This is where coaching again. See, Andy Reid's toolbox is way the fuck out of here. You got little Kellen Moore's toolbox right
I
here.
got a good analogy. You know, when you are, everybody's got a guy in their life. They go over, they got the perfectly clean garage. He's got like fucking the Husky racks of all the tools. And you can go, you got sliders out here. You got power tools over here. You got every wrench known to man. They got a snap-on table. That's Andy Reid. Kellen Moore got one of them little carry-ons you bring into the back of the truck. All right. So I don't know. I hope his toolbox is bigger than he has showed it to be this year. I really just need an NFC title game equivalent. That's it. I don't need you to just give me an NFC title game equivalent. And I think Saquon Barkley can do the rest. That offensive line can do the rest. I just gave you a clear advantage for the Chiefs late in the game with the defense, but here's a clear advantage, and you've been talking about it all show. It's why you picked the Eagles. We're just more physical than that. Yeah. So don't get away from that. Don't try and get cute. Don't try and get pretty. Don't try and put lipstick on a pig. Fucking get out your lunch pail and beat him over the head. That's what you do. That's what makes you you. That's Philly.
That's the only reason I'm picking you.
We're more physical than this team, man. We're going to bully this team.
I just think you're the bigger, better bully.
Yeah, we're gonna bully this team. The question is though, is if you can make enough plays in the right moments to limit what they have, and they have the greatest quarterback and coach of this era. Okay, so you gotta come up with something. It's gonna require a play from somebody. My prediction for that play, I told you earlier, is Zach Bond. That's who I think. I think he's gonna peanut punch Xavier Worthy, young player. Probably wants to make his name known in a Super Bowl, knows he's faster than everybody on the field, might get a little bit jittery, all right, running that ball. Zach Bond going to look at him and say, come here, little boy, bang, peanut, bang, peanut punch that bitch right out of there. Freaking Oren Burks falls on the ball. Yeah. Oh, Eagles ball, baby. That's going to be me in the studio when that happens.
Go fucking bullshit. Okay, how about this one here? You just mentioned it, and I'm going to throw it at you here. By the way, give me a total on the likes. All supers will be read here in a couple minutes here. And by the way, I got to tell you guys something. And Zander knows this as well as anybody. Congratulations, everyone. When you getting Jason Cole on, Jason helped Eric Allen get to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And because of you guys prodding him, sending him fucking stupid, hey, fuck you if you don't vote for Eric Allen. You know how many times he used to tell me that? Getting Jared Bell on and all those guys?
I was telling everybody that this morning. I was looking through the list of the voters, which, by the way, John McMullen's on there. You saw that. So Johnny Mac, one of the 50 voters for the awards last night. Pretty cool stuff there. I was telling all the
Hall of Fame, but for the
I was telling all the people about the Hall of Fame stuff though, because I started my show talking about Eric Allen, and I went through the, I'm like, Sileo had this guy on, he had this guy on, he had this guy on, he talked to Eric Allen himself, everybody. I mean, Sills did a lot for this. So
hey, by the way, he texted me last night. I want to just
Eric Allen texted me back.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm a nobody.
Yeah.
I'm a nobody. He's such a genuine dude. I texted him like, hey man, I just produced for you one time. And I'm a big Eagle fan. Congratulations. And he hits me back. Thank you so much. I'm like, that's so dope.
Yep. Really cool here. All right. I got another one here for you. And you just mentioned it. Bro, I'm not putting fucking Oren Burks on fucking Travis Kelce. He ate him up. I'm gonna put the Gene on him.
Yeah, but then what are you gonna do? You're gonna move the Gene out of the slot? You're gonna mess up that zone
wait a minute.
again, bro.
Who else scares you?
You're gonna mess up that zone.
Who else? Okay, so you're gonna let Mahomes then pick apart your zone.
You can't tell me, Sileo, a couple of minutes ago that the team's got to be disciplined and they got to stay in their spots and dude, that's what we're gonna run.
You've got a mismatch in personnel then.
No, but you think they're going to take it? So you think they're going to do like a box and one type of thing?
No. I'm asking you. I think Vic will come up with something to try to stop this kid because, hey, you know what I would also do on him? I would line up my defensive end on him and don't let him get a free release off the line of scrimmage, and I would beat him up as much as I could with a big body. Don't have him uncovered out there on the wide, at the wide end out there. I would put someone in his face because I can't let him get free releases onto the secondary and into the linebacking core. So you know how you can do it? And you can play Burks? Put someone on him like Sweat. Have Nolan in his face. Have somebody in his face. Don't let him go and turn in the middle of the field there with Burks sitting in there. That's how you stop him, Zander. You can do it. You can stop him with formation. Or no, not stop him, slow him.
Yeah, you can slow him, but don't you think that? Yeah. Don't you think that? Look, I'm not one of the people that says Travis Kelce like has lost it all, but he's slowed down a little bit, enough to the point where you're just going to have to treat him like one of their weapons. You're not going to change your entire defensive philosophy coming into this game in order to take him out of the game. If he beats you on a couple of throws, you live with it. He's going to get some yards. I mean, he's going to get probably 30, 40, 50 yards minimum. I know he only had, 14, 20 last week? That was his lowest in a playoff game in 15 games. He had 14 straight playoff games of 75-plus yards, which is the longest streak in NFL history. So he was on that type of a streak before that Bills AFC Championship game.
What did he have in 57? 80-some yards in that game? 87 or so? 81?
Remember, he had the big touchdown over Marcus Epps. You remember that?
Yeah, I think he had like 81 yards and 6 catches or something. I don't know. That sounds –
I'll look it up for you.
That sounds like kind of like –
I know he had that big-ass touchdown. That's all I freaking know.
Yeah.
He had 6 for 81 and a tutty.
Okay.
6 for 81 and a tutty.
Here's another one here. How do you feel about Kellen Moore going against Spags in this game?
Well, there's a clear advantage there as well. I mean, come on. You got a guy with how many Super Bowl rings? 3 Super Bowl rings in Kansas City and another one elsewhere.
Just because he's got the playbook don't mean you can stop the horses.
That's true. I'm not saying that, but I mean, you asked me for an advantage in coaching. I mean, I think Steve Spags is gonna throw Kellen off more than vice versa.
Oh, yeah.
Now, again, big guys beat up little guys. Good people beat up bad people. I mean, good players ultimately win. So I'm not saying it's going to mitigate our offense, but if you're talking about a coaching advantage there, I would say Spags gets more out of his collection of talent than Kellen gets out of his collection of talent. All right. Kellen has got one of the best offenses in the NFL. So, look, those are the things. These are the things that we all know that the Chiefs have an advantage on us in. They have a coaching advantage and they have a quarterback advantage. All right. Those are the great equalizers in football. We are a better football team. We are a more physical football team. We are a better offense overall. We are a better defense overall. We are better statistically in every category almost outside of tackling than this team everywhere. That doesn't mean you're going to win it. All right. Somebody's got to go and make a play here. And Zach, bomb, baby.
All right.
Come on, Zach.
Here's a couple more for you. Then we'll get to the supers. Ready? Dude, is there anybody else that when you look at Kansas City's offense, now I brought up the comparisons. Guys like Mahomes and Brady make Julian Edelman and Deion Branch and Juju Smith-Schuster stars. Is there anybody like that? I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster, did he not have the most yards of any wide receiver in the last Super Bowl compared to didn't he have a good game against the Eagles?
In the last Super Bowl, he had a big play. I remember the big play he had at the middle of the field. He had 53 yards. He had the most of any of the receivers. Yeah.
For Kansas City.
Yeah, for Kansas City. Yep, for Kansas City.
He turned Juju Smith-Schuster with a touchdown, and he turned a nobody into a somebody. Would you not say he was critical in their win?
Oh, he was definitely critical in their win. Again, this is what they have, dude. It could be Juju. It could be Xavier. It could be Hollywood Brown. It can be DeAndre Hopkins. It can be Isaiah Pacheco. It could be Kareem Hunt. It could be all these people. This is what the Chiefs are. This is what they've become. And it's a credit to Andy Reid and Mahomes because most play caller coordinators would not be able to do this with this type of talent. They just wouldn't. Let's call a spade. Most quarterbacks in the league, including guys like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, need more. They need a little bit more. Andy Reid and Mahomes are different cats. All right. These are different beasts. And I don't worry about one guy, but they're going to make plays. They're going to make plays. They're going to get points on the board. I don't know. I have 27-24, which I was wondering, is that low scoring? Is that high scoring? I kind of believe our defense could hold this team to 20, maybe less than 20 if they have a really stellar game, but I have 27-24, and that's what I felt. That's what I felt the best about going with.
Don't you, again, you can argue skill set here, but when I look at Hunt Pacheco, man, it reminds me of Ajayi and Blunt and how they use them in their offense, how there's a home run hitter in Pacheco and there's a red zone guy in Hunt, short yardage guy. Yeah. They kind of use them the same kind of way a bit. Don't you agree, Zander, that you kind of see the way that they use it? Now, obviously, they spread the ball so out, but when it comes to the run game, I see more short yardage plays by Hunt, who had 700 yards this year. Remember, this guy was on the sidelines for 18 months.
I know.
And this guy comes out of nowhere, and all of a sudden he gives him somewhat of a small running game. Pacheco was hurt earlier in the year, and he's come back now, and he's more proficient in the run or in the pass game. But they use him like that. You know what they did when you guys Super Bowl 52? You had that kind of dynamic.
Yeah. I see that with them. I mean, look, it's kind of the same thing that they do there that they've done with their receivers. They get a collection of these guys, and it's good complementary football, good complementary offensive football.
Andy's done that since Philly, really. He never had really big-time receivers outside of T.O. in Philly. He had a great tight end, and they had a running back. That's what he's done here kind of in a way too. I mean, right?
A little bit more modified here, and I think Patrick Mahomes is the reason you can modify it a little bit more just because he's going to make up any of the slack there. But, no, I do like those running back. I don't think they're going to be able to run on us well, though. I think our physicality on our defensive line is going to be good. Nolan Smith's actually really been good against the run. Now, I think he's going to be one of the most important factors in this game. Like, he's got to be disciplined, because if you let Mahomes start running around over there and rolling out or even just finding a lane to throw because you went too deep on the pass rush, that's where Mahomes starts to beat you up. Don't you remember that one third down completion in Super Bowl 57 where I forget who it was. Who was it? It might have been Jordan Davis. Was tackling Mahomes, and he's basically falling down, and he sidearms a throw to Travis Kelce for 8 yards, and who grabbed it near the turf, and they moved the sticks. And I'm just like, fuck, man. You were inches away from getting off the field. Off the field. So it's really – look, when we say discipline, it's not for fun. Every inch in this game matters, bro. Every series. Yeah, every series, every step, every snap. So they got to get after Mahomes, and they got to stay disciplined and see if they can get him down to the turf, man.
How about this one here? For Kansas City to win their third straight Super Bowl, they got to win the line of scrimmage on both sides.
And they're not going to.
That's why I'm picking Philly.
Yeah.
Because what? Philly can win both sides. I don't believe Kansas City can. I just don't believe they're going to do that. Dude, if they do that, it'll be the worst fucking non-show up. And I don't believe it. You're going to have to show me, Kansas City, that you can win the line of scrimmage. And that, to me, Zander, that's the game. That's the game there, the line of scrimmage. Okay? And I think Philly rolls into this game, and they win the line of scrimmage like they won the line of scrimmage in 17.
Yeah, and they win the line of scrimmage almost every week in a week. It's the reason we're 20. It's the reason we're what are we, 20-3 this year? What are we? No, 17-3 this year. It's the reason that we've done that in 20 games. It's because we dominate the trenches. That's what this team is built on. And that's why Lane Johnson walked into Nick Sirianni's office and said, "What is this cute shit? Look at us. You got a 6'8" guard, a 6'7" tackle, a 6'4" center, a 6'8" guard, and a 6'7" tackle. All right, you got 2,500 pounds of fucking force. Get on that thing, baby, and let's go."
Folks, I am going to get on his shit for one thing he said this morning, because I tuned it on, and as I'm getting ready with my show here, "Hey, John, the guys seem a little bit under the weather and shit. You think that's going to be a fucking factor? Everyone's getting a little nervous about the sniffle. Everyone's worried about the fucking sniffles a little bit." I'm going,
when I'm in opinion mode versus when I'm
you think somebody's going to get worried about it spreading around? I'm like, what is it, Bubila? What is Ebola? What is
It's
what
the
we talking
NOLA
about?
virus.
West Nile virus here? What the
The
fuck? are we
NOLA
talking about?
virus.
Sniffles?
It's
We're
the
talking
NOLA virus.
Oh, sure. Okay. I'll get my decoder book on fucking viruses that would stop
No,
me
it's
from saying-
NOLA. New Orleans.
Oh,
That's
the
a
NOLA
nasty.
virus. Well, you know what
Then-
that is down there. I saw John with beads on. Not good. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
He
hey.
was out with Jeff Kerr and Ed Kratz. I'm like, I don't know how many
Oh,
beads
wow.
you're getting
What
with
a-
them dudes.
Hey, that must have been a hell of a time. What were they drinking? Soda?
Big Sills don't go to bars with dudes. You know, I was
No, I
hoping
don't
to
go to bars
I
with
was
dudes.
hoping
I
to
don't-
go to NOLA with Sills,
Hey,
and then we could we could go to the bar together. And I was going to take
Yeah.
a picture and say, "This asshole's been lying for 4 years. He does go to bars with dudes."
You'd be the only guy I go with. Okay, you got it. Because wait a minute. You know why I'd go with you? I know you got a chick. Okay,
Huh? Yeah,
I know you
that's
got
true.
a chick. I
No,
don't
wait,
go
no,
with-
the check will come. This will be Sileo. I got to go to the bathroom.
Oh, what do you think I got? Alligator arms?
What? Got the alligator arm. Silio's got the check gets put on the desk.
Hey,
This is Sileo.
Xander, my card's back at the hotel
Hey,
room.
you see what that you see? Oh, okay. Oh, thanks, Zander. Thank you, Zander.
Nah, just put it on Big Joe's card. That's all I got.
Cilio's got them gator arms, baby. Them
No,
gator arms.
Don't ever fucking say Gators.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's
Hey,
true. You don't like the Gators.
here's my top 5 MVP guys.
All right, let's hear it.
I got Barkley 1. I got Bond 2.
Wow.
I got Carter 3. I've got AJ 4, and I
You
got
suck.
Hurts 5. And I got Hurts 5.
AJ's not winning the MVP over Jalen Hurts. The only way AJ Brown wins the MVP is if Jalen Hurts has an exceptional game.
Jalen Hurts has 131 yards passing, 65 yards rushing, and 3 touchdowns.
Wrong. I have 20 for 28, 240, 58 on the ground, 3 total touchdowns, 2 in the air, 1 on the ground.
Kansas City wins.
It's the perfect stat line you need. No, it's not, because I have Saquon Barkley, 26 carries, 138 and a touchdown.
No, here's me with Barkley. I got 25 carries, 205.
Holy moly.
Oh, he's going to run him over. He's going to run him over.
You think so?
Oh, I do. You that line, no way. I'll tell you this, man. I was texting Michael Irvin, and I told Michael, I go, I haven't seen a player like this since Barry Sanders. I mean,
He's
like Barry
incredible. Man.
Sanders.
Yeah, he really is incredible. I got 26 for 138. You got 25 for 205?
Yep. I don't think they're going to stop him. No way. Here's what I got for Bond. 13 tackles, sack, and a pick.
I have 10 tackles and a forced fumble. 13 tackles. That's
What is that out of
no, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
No, is that not what he's done every game?
I know it is. It is what he's done. There's no doubt. What do you have for Carter?
9 tackles, 2 sacks, and a fumble recovery.
Boy, your projections, you got the Birds beating up on this team bad. What do you got for Devontae Smith?
5 catches. Let me see. Hold on. Let me go deep down in here.
And if you didn't do it, that's fine. I thought you did them all.
No, I did. I got 60 yards.
Yeah, I have 6 catches for 90, 1 touchdown.
Okay.
AJ Brown, what'd you say you had for AJ? Your score, they don't add up. I mean, guy picked 130 on Jalen Hurts for shock value.
No, that's what he's done. So he is.
Yeah, but how you gonna have 60 yards with Devontae?
Here, I'll tell you exactly.
How many yards AJ?
I'll tell you exactly what I got. I told you what I had for Barkley. Here's what I have for I got for Hurts, under 200 yards. Hopkins, I have 35 yards. Goddard, I have over 50 yards. Kelsey, I have over 70.
What about AJ?
I'm going to get there. Hang on. Barkley, I have him for 1 run of 25 yards.
That's it? That's the longest one?
No, his longest one is 25-yard run. Yeah, the rest of them are 10, 15.
Okay.
He's just going to grind them down. I have AJ for 70 yards. I got Worthy for 54 yards. And I do think Zach Bond has more tackles than Nick Bolton. I got Kareem Hunt for 44 yards. I've got Mahomes for over 40 yards rushing.
What's your Mahomes stat line?
I got Mahomes 28 of 39 for 262 yards.
I think he's going to have more passing yards than that. I don't know, though. Last time he beat us in the Super Bowl, he had 180 and they had 38 points on the board.
So you put 260 up there and you put another 50, 60 yards rushing. He's 300 yards total offense. I mean,
yeah,
that's a pretty fucking great day.
I got 240 in the air for Hurts. I didn't think that was crazy. I'm surprised you balked at that so hard. He had 248 in the NFC.
How many games has he how many games in the last 14 games has he thrown for over 200 yards?
No, you're right about that. It's certainly lower than that. That's in the average.
I don't want them to do anything.
Yeah,
I don't want them to do anything.
You don't want it to all change for the Super Bowl.
No. And the reason I'm picking them is because I don't think he has to play anywhere near like he played in the NFC title game. I think you just line Barkley up and let that guy eat.
We're playing the Kansas City Chiefs. Why would we not need to be as good as we were in the NFC title game?
Because Kansas City's a different breed.
That's what I'm saying.
Washington hasn't been in that position
That's what I mean, though. You got to be better.
Okay. Well, you're the quarterback. You have to do the things that got you to the game. One of it. That Zander,
yeah, but you had 55 points on the board when Jalen got going to the tune of 240.
And I'm putting 55 points on Kansas City.
I'm not saying we are, but I'm saying you need Jalen to be that quarterback this game.
Dude, I want Barkley to be that guy.
I want both. Was Barkley not that guy?
Have they ever had both?
Huh? What do you mean? They just did.
Okay. Against Washington. Have they? Do you really believe that they're going to do? You hear Zander? He'll 350 yards passing and fucking.
I didn't say that. No.
Rushing,
blown it up.
Touchdowns. I want everybody to fucking AJ to have 190 yards catching. I mean, Jesus Christ.
You're blowing it up. 240. 58 rushing yards for Jalen Hurts. 298 yards total.
Who's your MVP?
Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is the MVP of this game, and I cannot wait. I told everybody this morning, I'm going to make the thumbnail for your show, which is the picture that everybody clicks on. If Sileo might not even know what a thumbnail is. 4 or 5 years on YouTube, he still doesn't know what a thumbnail is.
I have no idea.
But the picture of Jalen Hurts hoisting the Lombardi trophy that I can picture right now is going to be the thumbnail photo of the National Football Show for weeks. For weeks.
You know what the thumbnail is going to be? It's going to be Jalen handing the MVP trophy to Barkley and then the Super Bowl trophy like a mailman puts mail in a mailbox. That's what it's going to look like.
No, it's not. No, it's not, you nerd. Jalen Hurts.
This guy's going to be a mailman.
Jalen Hurts will win the MVP.
Let's get to
these supers. And we got Jason Cole coming up.
Yeah, let's get to these supers, dog. I can't believe that was great.
I can't believe you're picking the birds. I'm not going to lie.
Well, dude, as an objective dude here, how do you not go with the tough guy?
That's why I told everybody this. Remember earlier this week, I'm like, I don't know who Sills is picking yet, but I feel like Sills is picking the birds. This team is too physical.
It is. It's just, hey, it is. You can't deny when you see a tough guy, right? You know,
I can't wait to get John's score prediction. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. There's no doubt. You're right. You're right. All right, you ready to rock?
Yeah, please.
Do some super here. Luke's dad, what's up, brother? Appreciate you, man. 204 yards is the Super Bowl rushing record. Do y'all see it being broken Sunday? Sileo does.
I do.
I don't, but Sileo does. That would be a historic end to a season, man. Super Bowl ring, Super Bowl MVP, and you're the most yards ever by a running back.
And it takes the burn of not having 2105 out that you ended up becoming.
I don't even think about that anymore. Yep. Yeah, I don't even think you think about that.
You will if they lose.
If you lose, you will. But if you become the victor, what will always be told when people talk about that 2,000 yards is, and Barkley went on to win Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that'll change the narrative there. Paul Barbarian, what's up, Paul?
Thank you,
I saw a
Paul.
stat. When Jalen gets the ball out under 2.7 seconds, his win-loss record is ridiculous. It's on more to get him in rhythm. Same with Mahomes. He's 30-1, Paul. Mahomes under 2.7 seconds. That's the number. By the way, I'm not from the 305. I live in Westchester County, New York. Beautiful county. By the way, Brooklyn, how you doing?
Dude, Westchester County, how you doing? They got a great mall up there. I used to go to it all the time,
They
man.
got a lot
Very
more
nice.
than a great mall. That's a great place to live, Westchester County, New York.
Man. That's the home up there of Banksville, too, isn't it, man?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
That's
nice.
a great place to live.
Very
That's an
nice
expensive,
there,
nice
man.
place to live. Nice, Paul. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Mad Dio checks in. If two wide receivers line up on the same side, then DeJean will not be covering Kelsey, but will be double covered with Bond and safety and Burks as linebacker. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but if I'm Kansas City, that favors me, Burks on Kelsey.
Yeah, they're always probably gonna give Burks some help.
Because they're gonna look for mismatches, obviously.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Andy Reid is smart enough to scheme the zone out of order a little bit. He's gonna get some matchups. It's Andy Reid, guys. Like, you're not gonna stop him every play. It's all right. They're gonna get yards. Machiavelli to Don. Big Dom knocked out Greenlaw.
He did. He put the reverse juju on him too, man. What happened there? I like it.
He put the Maloik
He
on
put
him.
the Maloik on him. He did.
Yeah. JT Philly, what's up, JT? Spot on, Sills. These Kansas City linebackers are going to give trouble and are going to have trouble trying to contain Dallas Goedert. Kansas City is bottom of the league in yards allowed and touchdowns given up to tight ends, predicting a big stiff arm and touchdown from Goddard.
Hey, dude, I'm telling you, don't be shocked if Goddard has like 100 yards in this game because
I didn't predict it, but
they
I
can't cover, Zander. Zander, they can't cover, man. They're not good. They're just not good cover linebackers.
Yeah, I agree. Machiavelli to Don again. Thank you, brother. Eagles run iconic play. Philly special. Nah, they're not doing that. Nick wants to make his own path, I think. He's not going down that road. He's not going down
No, there may be a form of a special play.
Right. Yeah, right. I agree with that. Sig Lord, how you going to tackle a guy you can't touch? Well, he went 60 yards. He didn't go 20 yards. I know they didn't touch him for 20 yards on that opening play, but talking about Saquon.
Kansas City's a great tackling team. They're going to get to him.
That's what he's saying, though. How you going to tackle a guy you can't touch?
I get it. I got it.
They're going to Sig Lord, they're going to touch him.
Yeah, you're going to get him.
They're going to touch him. We'll see. Mad Dio says this defense travels and plays well in a dome, holding teams to under 20 points.
And they're going to be faster, Mad D, on that turf indoors. It favors Eagles so much more, man.
You would know that more than me. I don't normally put much stock into that.
I do. When you're on AstroTurf compared to grass, you're a faster team, dude.
Yeah.
You
would know that. You obviously
played a faster surface, dude. I mean, grass is an equalizer sometimes.
Yeah, but doesn't that also benefit guys like Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown and
they don't have as many guys as you do.
They don't.
Your defense has team speed everywhere. Corners, secondary,
linebackers,
D-line,
defensive line.
Your offensive line is more athletic, I believe.
Yeah.
Partly on turf. Come on, dog. Fuck.
Michael Robinson, it's about to get real, Sills. Jalen's flu game in 2 days.
No, he's Jordan. He does wear Air Jordan shit.
He does. The Jordan shit's fire. I love the Jordan.
The difference between Jordan and Jalen goes for about 100 yards a passing game. It'd be the equivalent of Jordan going in a championship game for 10 points.
This guy, man. This guy. What are we gonna do with this guy? What are we gonna do when Jalen Hurts is?
Why I want Barkley to win the MVP, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah. It took me a lot.
He was carried to the deal.
Took me a while to pick up on that, bro. It took me a while to. Schmidt Digler says, "Okay, I'm going to give you."
You made me think of that one.
Look at Schmidt here. He says, "Okay, I'm going to give you the star of the game. Devontae Smith, 7 catches, 143, 2 tutties. Stills picked the birds to jinx us." By the way,
hold on here, Schmidt. Who's quarterbacking for you? Tom Brady?
You act like they've never had stat lines with Jalen as their quarterback.
Oh, man. Yeah,
I mean, AJ Brown had back-to-back years
this year
of 1,500 yards. He had over 1,000.
This guy, he had 600, 800 yards, 700 yards this year.
Devontae did. AJ had 1,000. Luke Stad says, how much zero blitz will we see if Kansas City's linebackers can't cover? Probably a lot.
A lot. A lot.
Yeah. All right, Big Sills. Good football Friday show, brother. We'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll do a quick
Before
tomorrow.
I get you out of here, Sterling Sharp made the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see what I mean. Jason Cole will have a better answer for you than that. I'm just excited that Eric Allen is in.
Me too. And I think Jason heard all you guys bitching at him about Eric Allen, and he goes, let me do some more homework on it here. Well done, guys. I appreciate you, Zander. Please hit the like button. Let's get Jason Cole up here now. And we appreciate Jason, one of the Hall of Fame voters.